You're watching Daily News Brief, top headlines made simple. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Here are the brief highlights of today's top stories. Ford to recall more than 355,000 trucks over instrument panel issue, NHTSA says. I'm 49 years old and was laid off from my six-figure sales job. I now make $52,000 in an entry-level role where I work alongside college grads. Millionaire Alexis Ohanian walked out of the LSAT 20 minutes in, went to a Waffle House and decided he was gonna invent a career. He founded Reddit. Minnesota woman charged for using racial slur against black child as her fundraising tops $800,000. Vice President JD Vance faces backlash over shocking allegations about birthday party, pretty outrageous. F-35 pilot held 50-minute airborne conference call with engineers before fighter jet crashed in Alaska. Ukrainian drone attacks on oil refineries have some Russian regions running on empty. Thousands of bumblebee catfish captured climbing waterfall in never-before-seen footage. iOS 26. Here's everything you need to know about Apple's upcoming iPhone and iPad updates. FBI agents who had accused Bureau of politicization during Biden administration reach settlements. Caroline Leavitt's truly unbelievable new claim about Trump backfires immediately. What to know about the people in red who cross the Bourne Bridge every Labor Day weekend. Earth-size planet found in Toy 700 Systems habitable zone. Scientists issue warning after making disturbing discovery inside oysters. Here's what they found. I'm 67 with $870,000 in a 401k, $120,000 in an IRA and a $2,200 Social Security check. What's my retirement budget? Judge rules Utah's congressional map must be redrawn for the 2026 elections. Now, let's dive deeper into the details. Ford Motor Company is recalling over 355,000 trucks due to a faulty instrument panel display.
This recall impacts specific 2025 and 2026 Ford F-Series Super Duty trucks and the 2025 F-150.
The instrument panel cluster can fail upon engine start, increasing the risk of a crash due to missing critical information.
Ford will address this issue by updating the software at dealerships or through over-the-air updates free of charge.
Damon Duncan, 49, took a significant pay cut after a layoff from his sales engineer position.
His salary decreased from $148,000 to $52,000, impacting his family.
He now works an entry-level job alongside recent college graduates while seeking technical sales roles.
Despite submitting hundreds of applications, Duncan continues to face challenges in his job search.
Alexis Ohanian abandoned the law school admissions test after 20 minutes and embraced entrepreneurship.
At a Waffle House, he decided to invent a career, leading to Reddit's creation with Steve Huffman.
Initially rejected for their food ordering app idea, they pivoted to a social forum upon an investor's suggestion.
This shift resulted in Reddit, now a platform with over 110 million daily active users and substantial market capitalization.
A Minnesota woman faces disorderly conduct charges for using a racial slur against a black child at a playground.
This incident, captured on video, has sparked outrage and led to the woman raising over $800,000 through online fundraising.
The woman claims she is a victim of misinformation and continues to solicit donations, aiming for a $1 million goal.
The child, who is autistic, took a food pouch, leading to the confrontation and subsequent racial slur, deeply impacting the community.
Vice President JD Vance is facing criticism for allegedly manipulating lake water levels for his birthday celebration.
The Guardian reports that Vance used government resources to create ideal kayaking conditions at Cedar Creek Lake.
Ethics specialists find this action troubling, especially given the current administration is cutting funding for similar public resources.
While the act may not be illegal, it raises concerns about special treatment and misuse of government resources.
Following takeoff, the pilot discovered the F-35's landing gear was malfunctioning and would not retract completely. A 50-minute airborne conference call with Lockheed Martin engineers ensued, involving specialists in landing gear systems and software. 2 touch-and-go landing attempts to correct the issue unfortunately resulted in the main landing gears freezing. Ultimately, the aircraft transitioned into automated ground operation mode mid-flight, rendering it uncontrollable and forcing the pilot to eject. Ukrainian drone strikes on Russian oil refineries are causing fuel shortages and price hikes in several regions.
These attacks coincide with peak summer demand, impacting farmers and vacationers, exacerbating existing price pressures.
While Moscow remains largely unaffected, regions like Crimea and the Far East are experiencing rationing and inflated prices at the pump.
Although Russia has halted gasoline exports to stabilize the market, the situation exposes a vulnerability in their domestic energy supply.
Newly released footage reveals thousands of bumblebee catfish scaling a waterfall in Brazil.
This unprecedented documentation provides the first detailed look at the species' migration.
Scientists observed the small, spotted fish ascending the slippery rocks, a behavior previously unknown to science.
Researchers believe this mass migration, triggered by the rainy season, is likely linked to reproduction.
Apple is skipping iOS 19 and launching iOS 26 this fall, aligning version numbers with the upcoming year.
The new liquid glass design introduces a translucent aesthetic across Apple's operating systems, including iOS and macOS.
iOS 26 features improvements to phone, messages, and Photos apps, including live translation and spam filtering.
Compatible iPhones include models from iPhone 11 onwards, excluding iPhone XR, Xs, and XS Max.
The Justice Department settled with current and former Federal Bureau of Investigation agents.
These agents alleged disciplinary action for expressing personal and political views.
The views included opinions on the January 6 Capitol riot and COVID-19 vaccines.
Settlements involve back pay, benefits, and reinstatement for some agents.
Caroline Leavitt stated that President Trump is the most transparent and accessible president in United States history.
Critics quickly refuted this claim, citing the continued absence of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein.
Numerous individuals on social media also highlighted the lack of transparency regarding President Trump's tax returns and medical records.
Others pointed to inconsistencies in policy and communication as further evidence against the transparency assertion.
The Red Rebel Brigade, a performance troupe, uses dramatic visuals to highlight climate change.
This group, connected to Extinction Rebellion, walks the Bourne Bridge each Labor Day weekend.
Dressed in red robes, they perform a silent mime procession to raise awareness about environmental issues.
Their goal is to evoke emotional responses and encourage action on climate change vulnerabilities.
Astronomers have discovered a new Earth-sized planet orbiting within the habitable zone of the star TOI 700.
This exciting discovery marks the second Earth-sized habitable zone planet found in this system.
The planet, designated TOI 700e, takes 28 days to orbit its star and is likely rocky.
Scientists believe that liquid water could exist on the surface, increasing the possibility of life.
Mediterranean oysters contain microplastics, with those from industrialized areas showing double the contamination of others.
Scientists found that Tyrrhenian oysters averaged 1.55 microplastic particles per gram, while Adriatic oysters averaged 0.84.
Worryingly, 80% of the microplastics were similar in size to the plankton oysters usually eat.
This poses a threat to human health as oysters are often consumed raw, and current purification processes do not address microplastics.
Withdrawing from retirement accounts requires balancing enjoyment and longevity of funds.
Taxes significantly impact usable income from 401ks and traditional IRAs.
Required minimum distributions from these accounts begin at age 73 based on prior year balance.
Social Security benefits, depending on total income, can also be subject to taxation.
A Utah judge ruled the state legislature must redraw its congressional districts.
The current map, adopted in 2021, divides the Democratic stronghold of Salt Lake County.
This division dilutes Democratic voting power and favors Republican candidates.
The judge stated the legislature disregarded an independent commission and voters' rights.
Thank you for listening. Stay informed, stay aware, and join us again for more updates that matter. Until next time.